All right, you guys. So in the latest news, Canada and Canadians are fighting back against President Trump's tariffs, and this is getting crazy. Canada is like our allies. They're like best friend. They're like good to us Americans, right? And what Trump is doing is definitely making Canada say, you know what? We're going to take our hand back and we're going to spit in yours in return just for these tariffs, you guys. So I do want to dive into it. I know there's a lot going on with this, and there is a lot to talk about with this new presidency and the new administration that stepped in and definitely shook the nation, for lack of better words. But you guys, if you can leave a like on this video, I'll really appreciate it. We're going to dive into Canadians are fighting back against Trump's tariffs. Let's go ahead and dive right in.
Right, as President Trump walks back tariffs on most products from Mexico and Canada, again, Canada says retaliatory tariffs will stay in place until that pause is permanent. CNN's John King went to visit our northern neighbors as part of his All Over the Map series to hear what the Canadians think about the president and his tariffs.
This is American steel.
That's
in Western Canada for custom finishes. One belt is to burn a few notches and drill a few holes. Another to weld some angled braces. Soon back on a rail car and back across the border for an office project in Alaska. It is a partnership that supports 100 jobs here at AI Industries in Surrey, British Columbia. This just one piece of nearly $800 billion a year in trade between the United States and Canada. Now, though, a partnership in peril because of President Trump's insistence on new tariffs.
He wants to show that U.S. is strong, and because I'm bigger than you are, I can bully you around, and this is how I'm going to do it.
Trump paused the tariffs Thursday, just 2 days after imposing them. Another about face. Yes, Walgie prefers no tariffs, but he says weeks of threats and contradictions from Trump make it impossible to plan and are already hurting both economies.
Even with the threat of tariffs, prices have gone through the roof and they've gone higher. So we're seeing right now, when we're bidding a job today versus we're bidding it 3 months ago, our cost has gone up almost 15%.
British Columbia is a living postcard. Scenic mountains and gorgeous waters.
It's absolutely beautiful. I've never been there, but I want to go.
Everywhere you look. Canadian lumber waiting at river's edge. Rail cars to carry Canadian crude oil, crops, and more. The bustling Pacific Rim port of Vancouver.
You'll watch it for 8 hours. You'll see on average we've got 10 ships arriving and 10 ships leaving. We did about 160 million tons of cargo last year. 75% of that is those bulk commodities, grain, coal, potash, sulfur, and other agricultural products outbound.
Peter Exotta is the port CEO. He says shippers who normally plan 6 or 9 months out are now taking things a few weeks at a time because Trump is so unpredictable.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, at this point, Trump is just trolling the world. He's trolling the globe at this point. I mean, if you're going to stand on it, you better stand on it, man. If you're going to say you're going to apply tariffs to people, to countries, to places that we need the product, obviously we need a lot of Canadian workers and the things that they do, ship it to America so we can do what we do. And as well goes with Mexico. There's a lot to talk about with that. But Trump, if you're going to do it, just do it. Just apply the tariff. Don't apply it for 2 days and then pause it. Don't threaten these countries and make prices go up, because Trump, like a lot of the people that did not know about tariffs and what tariffs do to the economy, you guys, a lot of people that voted for Trump, and I have nothing against anyone in your political beliefs, but tariffs are going to hit our pockets. It's going to hit your pocket. It's going to hit my pocket. It's going to hit everyone's pocket. It's not going to hit the manufacturers or the shipment. They're just going to tack on the price to the total. It's a trickle down effect to the consumer, guys. Let's just be smart about this. It's a trickle down effect to the consumer. The consumer is us. Let's just be real.
And he says Trump's threats and his tone leave Canada no choice but to find new markets, new partners.
It's been a wake-up call, right? It's been a wake-up call for Canadians that we need to figure out a way to not be as dependent.
This rift goes beyond what Canadians see as Trump's bad math. They are furious at his bad manners, his constant insults, calling Canada the 51st state and its prime minister governor.
We've been in this together for a
crazy.
long time. We fought wars together. We went to Afghanistan. We did all this stuff together. Why? What are you doing here?
Darrell Lamb is the brand manager at Legacy Liquors. Yes, this too is a front in the new trade war.
There's yellow rose right there from Texas right there.
So, is it popular?
It is.
And if this goes into effect, you can't sell this.
It'll be off the shelf.
It's gone.
Tito's Vodka too, also from Texas.
Diagram of a trade war?
The Premier of British Columbia says if Trump imposes tariffs, he will ban sales of alcohol from states that Trump won that also have a Republican governor.
We've gone through this before with the Russian invasion of Ukraine. We were asked to remove all Russian products from our shelves.
Lamb says some customers rushed to stockpile American favorites, but others want all American products off the shelves.
So mad at Trump for what he's saying about Canada that they're saying, get it out of here.
No, 100%. Absolutely. I'm just worried about this eternal relationship that we've had for 200 plus years being soured for 4.
Vikram Vinayak is a short-haul truck driver, carrying berries destined for the United States on this run.
What are other loads that are pretty typical?
Nursery, trees, auto parts, and produce. Sometimes we pick frozen fish.
How much of your work or products that you know are going to end up in the United States?
More than 80-90% of our loads are going
That's
to
a lot.
US.
As many as 5 runs a day.
That's a
40
lot.
to 50 hours a week.
So that liquor store that they just showed, I seen another article and it was like the biggest liquor retailer in Canada has started snatching American products off their shelves. This is the problem with these tariffs, and this is going to affect people on the mass scale. So take a look at your house. Take a look at everything that you have in your home. Take a look at the clothing that's on your back. Take a look at the back of the soap that's in your shower. I can guarantee you it was not made in America. I can guarantee you 90% of the products inside of your home, from your couches to your beds to your clothes to your I can trust and believe that vast majority of it was made out of this country. So just think about what's going to happen when all of this goes into full effect and all those countries have to pay more. We're going to have to pay more for everyday needs and necessities that we use on the day-to-day basis. This is just it. I mean, Trump has already said that, yeah, guys, it's going to get rocky. It's going to get rocky for a little bit. It's going to get hard. Man, what do you mean? What do you mean?
But tariffs will cut shipments to the United States and cut Vinayak's hours.
You have a wife and 2 daughters?
Yes.
And so what does that mean about planning? Thinking maybe we won't make a vacation or maybe we won't buy something? What is it?
No, just planning is nothing. The main thing is how to get out of this situation by finding another job.
Does that make you mad? You might have to find another job. Do you like this job?
Yeah, I love this job.
One of many jobs now at risk because of a U.S.-Canada relationship Trump just shifted into reverse.
That's
John
not
King,
the only
CNN.
job. That's not the
Sorry,
only job.
British Columbia.
Americans are losing their jobs left and right as well.
Trade
This has just
policy
been
here
all
at the White
bad.
House has sent the stock market reeling for the last several days. President Trump adjusting course on the Canada and Mexico tariffs
Because the
specifically,
market's
offering on
fucking
Thursday
slumped.
yet another month-long reprieve, a day after he offered automakers a similar reprieve. Now, there is no question the financial markets have been wondering what exactly this White House is up to as the stocks have fallen, the dollar has weakened, and there's been an inconsistent pattern across many of these decisions. But the president...
There's been a very consistent pattern around these decisions. It's a laughing stock. This is the laughing stock of the world. America is right now. U.S. stocks slide amid Donald Trump's tariff chaos. I'm going to do it, and yeah, I'll apply tariffs, and then 2 days later, he wakes up, his wife, gives him a good old jolly knob rub, and he's like, you know what, we'll just pull the tariffs off for a few days. It's okay. I feel better. My legs are weak now. I feel better. Trump, you gotta stand on it, man. You gotta stand on it. If you're gonna do it, because I have family members that heavily heavily look at this stock market, and that's their livelihood. They live off of the stock market and investments. And what you're doing is just absolutely terrorizing the American people. You're terrorizing the American people. This is something that you're doing. I'm just going to keep it 100. This is what you're doing, man.
On Thursday, insisting the market had nothing to do with it.
No, nothing to do with the market. I'm not even looking at the market because long term, the United States will be very strong with what's happening here.
Of course, that is very much an open question. The president has long used the stock market and the financial markets as a whole as a metric for how he guides his success. He certainly did so during the first term in office, and he has throughout the course of much of his life. But there is no doubt the president is also still in favor of imposing some type of tariffs. He believes, and he said again Thursday at the White House, the United States is being ripped off, in his words, by some of these countries. He's also insisting that reciprocal tariffs will go into effect on April 2nd. And that would really cover the gamut of goods, from autos to alcohol to so many other things, and not just Canada and Mexico. It's all reciprocal tariffs any country the United States does business with. So the bottom line to all of this, the questions here now is the president has delivered a series of threats over tariffs, but taken many of them back. Is he serious about the next round? Of course, we'll have to wait and see on that, as the markets still wonder what this White House is up to. Jeff Zeleny, CNN, the White House.
And President Trump's latest trade move applies to goods covered by the existing free trade deal between the three nations. That's the U.S., Mexico, and Canada agreement. It was proposed by President Trump during his first term and officially replaced the North American Free Trade Agreement in 2020. Now, amid the tariff threats, the leaders of Mexico and Canada have been in talks with Trump.
I can confirm that it was a colorful call. I've been having conversations and working with Donald for over 8 years now, and a lot of it is rolling with it.
So I said to him, we are getting results. President Trump, now that you put in the tariffs, how are we going to continue cooperating and collaborating with something that hurts the people of Mexico?
It hurts the people everywhere. I feel all of these countries because it hurts the people everywhere. And, I'm not against tariffs. I'm not against trying to bring some money back to America because, hey, we're American. I'm not against that. If we, in a sense, have been allowing countries to borrow or we've been giving a discount, I'm not against trying to recoup back the money. But if you're going to do it, do it. That's it. If you're going to do it, bro. Don't fucking picky around the fence and, I'm on this side of the teeter-totter and I'm going to say yeah. And then I say no, we'll pause it for 6 months. And then I'll say yeah. And then no, bro, just do it. Just do it. And then allow us to roll with the punches. Allow us to see what's going to happen with the prices of things. Allow the Americans to find out what's going to happen after it's done. Allow the Canadians and the Mexicans to find out what's going to happen once it's done. We don't want to go back and forth because you know what that's driving? It's confusing companies on what to rate their prices at. Everything's just driving up and up and up and up and up and up and up because everyone's confused. I don't want my credit card debt to go even higher, man. Just do it if you're going to do it. If not, stop talking about it.
Meanwhile, the president has been imposing fresh tariffs on China while expressing hope of building good relations. But now, China says that such a, quote, two-faced approach would fail. On Friday, Beijing warned against world powers prioritizing their own interests.
There are more than 190 countries in the world. Should everyone stress my country first and obsess over a position of strength, the law of the jungle would reign again. Smaller and weaker countries would bear the brunt first, and international norms and order would take a body blow.
For more now, let me welcome in Kadia Goba in Washington. She is a politics reporter for Semaphore. Kadia, great to have you this morning. So far in the president's term, we haven't seen a lot of public GOP dissent on Trump's plans, but on this issue of tariffs, you are hearing GOP leaders raise concerns. Listen.
Almost every industry in Kentucky has come to me and said it will hurt our industry and push up prices of homes, cars, and so I'm going to continue to argue against tariff.
Should he back off of it if it starts to hurt the constituents?
When we start losing, you back off. You know, there's such a thing as a strategic retreat. At the end of the day, I think we have more leverage than any other nation, but we got to be smart, and we don't have all the leverage.
Even the Republicans know that this is going to have a fucking catastrophic damage to Americans. It's going to have the worst damage we've seen in a while. I'm just going to put it out there. I am glad I purchased my house during the previous administration. I am so glad I purchased my house how long have I been here? 4 months ago? I am so glad. Wait. Yeah, roughly, right? But I'm so glad because, guys, I purchased my house, right, during the previous administration. I got great interest rates. The interest rates right now are fucking insane. I don't know how much they are. They're probably 7.5%, 7 to 8%. Who knows on a mortgage? It's crazy work. But not only that, but the value of my house, right? So I purchased my home, right, for a set value. In 3 months' time, my house has went up over like close to $100,000. The same houses in my neighborhood that's being completed, right? I wish we could see. I wish you could see what I'm talking about outside, but the same houses are going for $100,000 more. The value of my home went up $100,000 in less than 3-4 months. Crazy work.
So, Kadia, what do we know about the why of it all?
And
I mean,
the reason why I say that is because
what's the
so many
strategy
people are going to be trying to buy a house and they won't be able to because they'll be outpriced.
So this isn't new. My colleagues and I have reported this out before the president took office. There were major concerns about tariffs, whether lawmakers said it openly or just talked about him using it just as a threat or a form of negotiation. Now we see it being more openly, them being more openly criticizing the president. And it's because, one, I would say his polling is not looking great, but also some of these tariffs are impacting lawmakers' constituents already, and they have to receive the phone calls from their constituents.
Yeah, and just staying on the issue of the economy, in about 3.5 hours, a little less than 3.5 hours, we get the latest jobs numbers. It's the first one under his presidency. Now, Kadia, it might be too early to see the impact from the DOGE cuts in this report.
The layoffs
But how does
are
Trump play
crazy.
this today? I mean, if you come out and you celebrate these strong numbers today, you might be forced to own them next month if they're lower because of DOGE or concerns about tariffs, and they start to show up in the data. So how does he play this later today?
I don't know.
Yeah, this was very, it's interesting how this will play out. I'm not really clear. I had the same question during the joint address the other day. When you come to Washington, D.C., and you talk to members of Congress who have constituents and who, excuse me, and who talk about, and you talk about all the layoffs that you have, especially for members representing Virginia and Maryland. How does that look on television when they're cheering? It's not a
good look at all. It's not a good look, guys. I'm just saying that right now. But let me know in the comments down below. What do you guys think? Is the tariffs a good thing or are they a bad thing? Should he just stand on it or just keep belly flopping left and right on yes and no? We're going to do it. Guys, let me know in the comments. Also, YouTube's picked a video just for you to watch next. Make sure you leave a like, comment, subscribe, share, all that good stuff on this one. I'll see you in the next one.